It's all going really, really well. Really good. Really, really good. Really, really good. Oh, I don't have, okay. It's gonna take me a minute. Technical difficulties have prevented us from starting on time. However, we'll be here shortly. I gotta get the dock pulled back up. I had to reboot. So, yeah, it's like starting over with everything. Getting good at starting over. Every time I turn around. Yeah, sorry gang, we're playing some catch up because OBS decided to shit its pants. Decided to shit its pants, and it's all good. All good. Getting my chat pulled up here. See, we are live. Ah, HP3. The Prisoner of Azkaban. We watched that last night. Watched it last night. Navy Thunder is starting to appreciate Harry Potter, which makes Candy Thunder super happy. Teddy Downs, no, happy gosh haggard birthday to you. Number one. Number two, we would never let the tech gremlins completely ruin everything. They only temporarily ruin things. Not every time. Brittany, you're not an HP fan, so we decided that anybody who we are live on TikTok, just Mags. It took a minute. Tech Gremlins, anybody who hasn't seen them or doesn't like them, you get the Muggle category. The Muggle category. See, Helen, I'm with you. My favorite one is whatever one I've watched most recently, because they're all good. All of them. They're all magical. All good. All magical. All a good time. Just wait until Navy's ready for Lord of the Rings. Ah, we shall see. We shall see. Let's do this. We have some different goals going on today. On the TikTok side, it won't let me do 8, Tony, so I have to do it like 5, 10, 15, 20. I've got a goal of 10 super chats, any color, and that will trigger a shirt change. After that, we're doing some amount things. On the TikTok side, on the YouTube side, 10 super chats. On the TikTok side, I have not set this yet. I will do that right now. And that is going to be, well, we're already rocking on the bulk goal, so we'll keep that there. It is, instead of the gifter shout out, which we'll do anyway, but we do get a Candy Thunder appearance here as well. We have, she wasn't gonna be here until she called an audible just a few minutes ago. Candy Thunder is here. And guess who else is here? Navy Thunder is here. Navy Bear. Navy, come see Daddy. They just walked in the door. Come see Daddy. Come here, Bugs. Come here. Come here. Were you having an emotional day, kiddo? Were you having lots of big feelings today? Hey, look that way. Say hi. Say hi, everybody. Look at the camera and say hello, everybody. And see, they could see you right up there. Say hi. Are you gonna hang out with us today for the live? Yep, that's you right up there. But there's the camera. That's where they can see you from, right there. That's where you can see you, but they can see you from right there. And there's Mama. Yep, that's you right up there. What's your favorite Harry Potter movie? The one you just saw? What about you, Tater? I just say whichever one I've seen most recently.
It would be the fourth one if the fourth one was more like the book.
Candy Thunder says it would be the fourth one if the fourth one was more like the book.
I just love the change from teenage, young teenage to older teenager in the book. And there's so much good
See, I
stuff.
feel like that kind of
She's enjoying watching herself.
But they,
She is getting big. She's getting very, very big.
that third is my second favorite.
Are you becoming a big girl? Who you got? You got Spin? You gonna show everybody Spin? Hold him up. Hold Spin up. Very into Spidey. Love you, baby girl. Have a kiss. Right here. Oh, thank you, Spin. Mwah. Tell everybody hi. Look, we have all kinds of people here talking. The Tri-Wizard Cup, that is, what, 4? Oh, Goblet of Fire. Is that 4 or 5? Goblet of Fire? That's 4. Yeah, that's 4. Yes, she does have a Spider-Gwen, too. Yeah, she's got Ghosty. She loves Ghosty. Youngest is sick, Brittany. The sickness is flying through our camp here. Caden Thunder is out sick today. Grammy Thunder is out sick today, too. You gonna hang out with us today? I think we'll actually have Navy Thunder for the VIP today. Yeah? What are you pointing at? The bear? The KC bear? Use your words, child. I don't understand your pointing and grunting. Donna Johnson dropping the $2 super said, not a fan of HP or Lord of the Rings. You make me sad. Trying to break my heart, child. Caden Thunder has flu A. He just tested positive for flu A. It's terrible. They closed Pierce City schools yesterday? Whoa, it's flying through. It is flying through. My goodness. Carrie Lee, I haven't been on your FYP for months. Yeah, that goes through different seasons where the algorithm loves or hates us. What are we doing here, kiddo? I can't see anything. I can't see.
Navy, come here.
She's
you
having
ready
fun.
for your smoochie?
You want to have a smoochie? And then you can come back up in a little bit? Does that sound good? I don't understand the grunting,
Yeah,
honey. You're going to have to use your words. She's doing her I'm like, no, I don't know about that. Ash schools are closed there too. Oh my goodness. Caden, flu A tested positive. Yeah. Hi, buds.
Navy had.
You want to go in the sound booth? We'll have to talk to mommy about that. Talk to mommy. Mommy will help you. Mommy will help. Elise closed schools in early December for pneumonia. Oh my gosh. Navy no speak of the English. She likes to hang out in the sound booth. It's like a little enclosed kind of sensory deprivation space almost. Working on wands right now, Karen. That's cool. The audiobooks are great. Nice. Sophia, their schools would never close for sickness there. They're nuts. Amber Hickey, member for 12 months on the Goshak and Thunder crew, says I need to re-download TikTok. Can you re-download it? If you deleted it?
They're selling phones on eBay for like 50 grand.
Oh, yeah. They're selling phones on eBay that TikTok never got deleted on for like an exorbitant amount of money. It's wild. Myra, that seems to be a common one too. Prisoner of Azkaban. Can't re-download them yet. Eventually they'll get this figured out. Like, hey, letting that clock hit 0 or that countdown hit 0 caused all kinds of damage. Sriona, thank you very much. Thank you. That sickness is a booger. It is a booger. It's a booger. We're already past the 1K point on the bulk goals here. You guys are hearing music, okay, right? Callie, yeah, our schools are closed for snow, but not for sickness. Effulgent 1, Goblet of Fire. That's what we're getting ready to dive into.
I think it's too
Bernard, you're missing out. Yeah, Goblet of Fire might be...
old for Navy.
Yeah. But, I mean, did she actually see any of the Dementors in 3? Or was she distracted during those times? Yeah, so she... Anna still can't resubscribe? Yeah. Tony Spark would make someone a great deal on my phone. The 25K.
Look, I'll even throw in my iPad for another 10.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, Navy, I'm ready.
That's not fun. Not fun. All right, we'll go ahead and get started here. Hey kiddo, oh, you found some confetti in the sound booth? Confetti on the dance floor after the party? Yeah, what are you asking for? One of these?
Yeah,
You can't take the cloud, it's plugged in.
but the cloud has...
Oh, yeah. It's okay. Confetti can be up there. It's kind of part of our decoration. Ashley ordered from the swag shop. Excited for when it comes in. Heck yeah. What did you get? What did you get? Yeah, you can use a web browser in case anybody is dedicated enough. You can use a web browser to resub, and you can also use a web browser to recharge coins if you want. But that's... Yes, honey.
Why does Kim this?
I don't know, honey. I think it might not be charged. I'm sorry. We can try a different one. Nope, here you go. There you go. You can use that one. Okay, I'm gonna get started here, kiddo. We got the Navy Thunder here today. Oh, Fane, you resub that way on desktop? Or from a browser? Nice! Is anybody else getting the Helium Dusty Thunder? Amber, you may just have to jump out and jump back in. Not sure why it does that. Let's do this, shall we? Welcome to the Gosh Heck It stream. Glad to have you here today. Overarching theme of the day, what's your favorite Harry Potter movie? Coming up, we have stories about navigating school obligations with your ex, money, giving crappy Christmas gifts, groomsmen dilemmas, family trip scheduling drama, navigating family visits after giving birth, family picture drama, and we also have a Best of Our Dinner update story and a cake story. What was the O about?
I put money there as a placeholder, but I couldn't think of a catchy title there. It is about money, but there's like, I couldn't think of what...
It's a story about money. It counts.
It's a story about money, so that's
It's a very creative coming up title there.
Well, it's because I couldn't like skip to the next line.
Money.
Point, I had to put
Yeah.
a placeholder. It's better than...
Yeah, I know. I normally do ASDF. That's my placeholder.
Yeah.
That's my placeholder. Every minute have to exit and come back? Allie, that's weird. I'm sorry. Yeah, I wish I knew what it was on our end that caused that, but...
You can jump over to YouTube.
Yeah, jump over to the YouTube side.
It's also probably maybe getting to the point where you can't update apps to fix...
Yeah, it's probably right. Yeah, they probably can't get a... They can't push... TikTok can't push an update yet either, right? Rebecca dropping the 5 says, my mom was pregnant with my sister when I went to the cinema and saw the Mandrake scene. Thought that's what happened. I mean, it's not super far off, right? Thank you so much for the super. Greatly appreciate the love. Oh, man. Chipmunk Sound is our connection to TikTok. Lovely. We are at 11:41 to 3K, which is the goal to get Candy Thunder up here. We weren't going to have her today, and then last minute she said she was heading up our way, so she's here. The week's goal is for shares is 1,500, and let me get that brought up here as well. We had to reboot right at 3 o'clock because OBS was not being kind and not showing the camera, so that was fun. That was a really good time. Okay, it was 15 hundo shares, Tony Spark. What was the likes goal? 5 hundo. Okay, I think I've got that right. Let me just enable those. Enable that, and there we go. Now we'll be tracking those on the TikTok side as we go. You got the Delulu shirt, Ashley? Words Are Hard hoodie for your sister? Heck yes. That's awesome. We do have, well, let me get to the talking point here. Make sure you subscribe on the YouTube side to stay up to date on all the latest content. Subscribing on YouTube is free. It is not the paid membership thing. There is a paid membership over there. So if you're on the TikTok side and you're having trouble, get resubscribed for your VIP membership there. We do have one on the YouTube side that has a lot of content there. So you can join the Thunder Crew now and you still get access to everything you have access to, plus more, actually. So we hope TikTok will get their shit straightened out soon, but we just have to wait and see. Don't forget the Dusties return on February 10th at 7 p.m. on YouTube exclusively. If you haven't seen the teaser yet, make sure you do that after the live. We posted it a few days ago. I don't know. Time just kind of blends together at this point. It is going to be so much fun. And every day, it gets a little more complex and a little more cool. So I'm very excited to share that with you. Looking forward to it. There was something else that I had to say about that as well. Oh yeah, in the swag shop, there is the second annual Dusties design available in the swag shop now. So go check that out if you have the inkling as well. February 10th, 7 p.m. Central on YouTube. We'll be premiering it, so it will come out like a live with the live chat, and we can all kind of enjoy it together. Reminder today, keep chat positive and respectful. Everybody, of course, is allowed to have their own opinion, and we want you to share that opinion in a respectful way. Don't get into religious debates, political debates. Do not fall for jumping into the whole Chiefs hater narrative, because I'll mute your butt for that too. No spoilers of stories, please. If you know how a story ends that we're reading, please don't spoil it in chat for everybody else. That'll get you muted as well. And with that, get out your gosh heckin' brooms. So, developer girl, we hear a lot of that on the TikTok side now. Unfortunately, I don't think TikTok can push an update, and it only happens for some people. So it's not us pushing that way. At least, I don't think so. But there's nothing we can do about it, unfortunately. Yeah. Mercy. Cool. What's up, Tater?
I was gonna fix you.
You gonna fix my hair? I got a flippy? I always had that flippy.
I can't. That's why I said, I'll just read it.
Is this why I need to grow my hair longer? Much to the chagrin of our teenage daughters. If I grow it longer, it won't flip up like that. You said, okay. She doesn't like it either.
No, I didn't say that.
She didn't like her.
That's not what I said.
She doesn't, no, Sophia, of course you can. It's the whole conspiracy theorist, weak-minded bullshit that we can't get into. That we ain't gonna do. We'll do it. All right, let's dive into our very first story here, ladies and gents. What do you think about that? You ready? Navy Thunder's ready as well. She's watching Moana too. Hey there, it's Dusty Thunder with yet another story for you. This one is from AITA and is titled, Am I the Astronaut for No Longer Updating My Ex on Our Child's School Stuff? We'll play the game for this one. I'm sure that there are some extenuating circumstances which would, make this a completely reasonable thing. I think generally, though, well, actually, generally, isn't it, like, as a parent, it's your responsibility to stay tuned in on school stuff, not rely on another parent for those updates. That's the ideal structure, but if you know that that's not possible, and like teachers send home things with the kid to one specific parent, there's like a moral obligation there. But if they end up shitting on that at some point to where there's no point in doing it anymore, then that's a different story. So I don't know. I'm going NTA. I understand this is a gamble. I felt like ESH might be the way to go, but I'm going to gamble on NTA here. Title again was Am I the Astronaut for No Longer Updating My Ex on Our Child's School Stuff? Then Kalina, I'm right there with you. ESH leaning NTA, except for I'm NTA leaning ESH. Backward. 2 seconds left. Ash says, I legally had to tell my court order even when he was in college. Oh, legally had to tell with my court order. Interesting. Yeah, deliberately withholding would be a different thing. All right, NTA took it. ESH was not far behind, I think. NTA had 41%. ESH had 38%. She's got her Cheez-It crisps. All right, here we go. I split up with my ex almost 2 years ago. My child started school the same year. My ex was never too involved in our child's educational needs, even when she was a toddler. I handled it all myself. My child's school offers multiple apps and websites. You can be up to date with everything without ever having to contact anyone. That's an important note. I just asked my ex repeatedly to get at least the main apps so that I don't have to keep reminding him of important dates and of our child's progress. He didn't care. Okay, then we'll red flag this. Just a few examples. Whenever I asked to make a plan for any school break, he'd ask when the school break is. I sent him links to the school website, but he couldn't even be bothered to save a screenshot or make a note of the dates, etc. So he'd ask again the next time around too. He couldn't be bothered to update his phone number in the school records, so the school office couldn't contact him during emergency. You get an extra red flag just for that one. I informed him about all the parent-teacher meetings. He said he couldn't make it, and that it made sense for me to go because he didn't know the teachers. It's not about knowing the teachers, man. Even in September, when neither of us knew the new teachers. Side note, he doesn't work, I do, so I thought it was logical to have him attend so I wouldn't have to take time off work to do so. And another round of red flags. I'd send him any important dates, school plays, any shows, sports events, etc. He'd pick and choose the ones not involving much interaction. Reading together on the World Book Day was a no-go, but watching the kids race was okay, etc. Boy, he's just winning, huh? I would even invite him to the events organized by any clubs my kid is in, clubs I organized and paid for myself, but he always had an excuse unless the events fell on his weekends. Even then, he'd sometimes ask me to swap the weekends. I accepted it for over a year for the sake of peace. I wanted my kid to see her dad, support her achievements too. But it's been so long and I'm just tired of having to both handle the responsibility and remember to give him updates about it. I also felt like I was trying to make him involved when he clearly wasn't interested. Here, second that statement. So last autumn, I announced to him that it was on him to stay up to date with our child's school stuff. I gave him 2 weeks to get everything sorted. I even listed all the important apps and websites so he wouldn't miss anything. The only one I didn't share was a payment portal, as I knew he wouldn't care about that one. Subtle burn. I promised to still share any information passed via written notes, letters, etc., as obviously he would not have access to those otherwise. I followed through with it. It took him 2 months to realize what's happened, and now he's furious, saying that I'm using the child against him. The child. Which child? Like him or your actual child? You're using his child, his childish behavior, like him as the child, against him, sure, but not your actual child. He got his family involved, and now they're all bombarding me with texts saying that I'm the asshole for doing it to him and our child. His mother also pointed out that she had done everything herself as well and didn't involve her husband in the school stuff, so she knows it's not that hard, and I'm being dramatic. Am I the astronaut? I'm gonna have to try real hard to censor myself as I speak, because I really want to drop some F-bombs here. I really want to drop some F-bombs here. I know, but we've got a toddler 2 feet away. So she's got headphones on.
She's got
Candy Thunder's just like, do it. Just do it. And I'm like, well, hold on. Well, hold on now.
Moana too.
She does. She's got headphones on and she's listening to a movie. As much as you want him to not be a deadbeat, he's a fucking deadbeat. I'm sorry. Like, I know you want him to be involved and to be a good dad for your child's sake, but he chooses not to be. You can lead a horse to water, right? You've made it as easy as possible for him, and even when you decided to take that extra workload off of your shoulders, because it was extra work to make it easier for him, or as easy as possible, you decided to take that work off of your shoulders. He didn't even realize what was happening for 2 months. After you told him what was happening. He didn't even realize. And now he's furious. Why? Because he doesn't have the he's like, man, I haven't declined an invite in a hot minute. I haven't said no, I won't be there for my kids thing. Or you know what? I haven't had a reason to swap weekends in a while. What's going on? Oh yeah, I'm not getting those updates anymore. To all those things that I didn't attend, didn't want to be a part of. Like what? It's not on you. Now him running over to his mommy and his family and crying about it really confuses me. Like, what does he benefit there? He just wants the pity from everybody. And actually, yeah, okay, that's exactly what it is. Because a lot of parents, when you've got split parent kind of households, a lot of parents will pull this shit where they want to act like they're involved to everybody else. They don't actually want to be involved. They don't want the work. They don't want the responsibility. They don't want the stress. They don't want to actually be involved, but they want the rest of the world to think that they really are. So when they've got some kind of ammo that justifies their lack of involvement And I'm not involved in my kid's life as much because this person did this to me. This person puts up these barriers. This person, I'm a victim. They'll play that fiddle all they want, as much as they can get their hands on it, right? And that's what he's doing here. It's garbage. It's garbage. Magic Drop, you're talking about my mother-in-law. That's terrible. That is absolutely terrible. Jen here, welcome to the Goshak and Thunder Crew. Good to see you on this side. Hi. Hello. This is bull hockey. He doesn't get to get away with this kind of crap. Do not let him make you feel bad for his shortcomings, right? You did everything that you could to make it as easy as possible for him to be at least a baseline decent human being of a father, and he failed. That is not on you. Absolutely not on you. But you know what? She's a foot away, so let's get some tater thoughts, shall we? By the way, I do have some tater thought designs in progress. I sent a couple to Tater Thunder herself today, and she said she loved them both. So we just have to narrow them down and then animate them and get them as part of the show. But let's bring her up. Tater Thunder wielding her Diet Coke poster of a sweatshirt.
I've worn it before.
I know, it's amazing.
I think we learned everything we need to learn about this story in the last paragraph, and about why this guy is the way he is. His mom getting involved and saying what she said really paints the picture of why this guy doesn't feel like he has to prioritize anything, because it sounds like his dad never prioritized anything because his mother handled it all, controlled it all, and never included them. Guess what, Mama? Times change. It's different now. I know it's wild, but dads are actually expected to parent their children nowadays. Kudos to the ones that were already doing it, but these are the current set of expectations. So get on board and quit sending. I would block this woman 100%. She wouldn't have any contact with me whatsoever.
His mom.
Yeah. And if you were doing her any favors with letting her see grandchild, like sending this stuff to you, would be a firm decision to not do mother-in-law any favors, in my opinion, because there's no telling what she's saying behind your back if she's going to say this kind of stuff to you and talking about child's dad. So I would, OP, not the asshole. You did nothing wrong. You actually went above and beyond, and then realized, I don't have to do that because this is a grown-ass man who can do his own job. And you gave him ample time to get his affairs in order, and he chose not to do it. That's on him. You did absolutely nothing wrong. Bravo to you.
Yeah, the Effulgent one, I agree with you there. If mother-in-law wants to know, give her the apps. And also explain to her, you're not taking any information away from him. He just actually has to put forth like a couple of thumb taps of effort to get his hands on it now, rather than having it spoon-fed to him. By the way, mother-in-law, thanks for that. Thanks for creating a human and training this human to have to be spoon-fed anything. He's not working. He's not, like, he doesn't have an excuse to not be involved. He just has better things to do. And you know what, Mama, OP, as much as you want that to be different, your child will get it someday. Your child will understand someday, and will understand that it is not your doing. It is who that human being is. It's just who they are. It's sad. And he's the one missing out here. He's the one who's going to feel the pain. Don't punish yourself for his shortcomings. Once again, it is an NTA.
Somebody wanted to know where you got her.
Yeah, I was going to tell him.
Oh, hop right up.
Oh. Shirt for the people that asked about the Diet Coke shirt. It is from a local boutique here, but they have an online shop. It's called AITA and East. And I'll send you the stuff to it. Person. I can't remember your name. Taylor.
AITA, ETTA, and East. Yeah, and the actual shop is in Joplin, but they ship all over. Yeah, Taylor. AITA, and East. There you go. Yeah, parent, not babysit, Ann. Yeah, it's, well, he doesn't even have the wherewithal to do that. I just don't. How, as a human being and as a father, can you not just not be involved, not just toe the deadbeat line, but then claim to your mom that you are more involved than you are, or I don't know. I just don't understand. You would think that him being raised by her, and if she did do all this alone and she worked as hard as she said she did, you would think that he would have a better appreciation for it, but just doesn't. So instead, maybe coddled him a little bit too hard, and now he's got this this entitled attitude where he's so entitled he doesn't even have to care for his child. And I don't mean care for like take care of. I mean like care. He doesn't have to care for or care about his own kid. No. Willow Wiccan. There you go. Congrats, mother-in-law. You created a DFHB reject. I think we can make that official. To both of you. Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely not, Ellen.
What's up?
Acceptable. She said she's only here for an hour. We will hold you hostage.
Whatever else you got going on, they can wait. They can wait. Hey, Peaches, yeah, you found me live. This is where it all happens. Wish mother-in-law was defending her grandbaby. Ooh, freckled and free. Yeah, that would be nice. That would be nice. Like, hey, cool. Instead of defending your deadbeat dad of a son, why not defend his child, your grandchild, and try to get him to get off his ass and actually be a parent? That would be something. That would be something. The Effulgent One, thanks for the reminder about tapping the screen on the TikTok side with that likes goal. We are at 13% of it right now at almost 70K of the 500K goal. Also, shares goal. We're at 2% right now, 33 of the 1,500 that we have as a goal on that side. I know the TikTok side is still weird and only half functional and kind of limping along. We get it. So we'll do what we can over there. In the meantime, words are hard. We are at 2 of 10 on the super goal on the super goal on the YouTube side, and that will unlock a shirt change for the first one. Then the next goal we have on the YouTube side will start to unlock things like a cake story, top gifter AMAs, that kind of thing. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I know a lot of people can't recharge on the TikTok side. It's all right. We'll keep it going. Callie, you've been up since 1 a.m. What have you been doing up since 1 a.m.? I mean, I get it. I've lived that life as well. But trying to stay up when you've been up since 1, like if you see it pitch black and then the sun come up and then you see the sun go down again, it's like your brain is like, excuse me, we need some sleep. We've been awfully sleep deprived over here. Jen here, the gift goal here on the YouTube side. We're operating on supers right now. We don't have a way to track the actual gifts that they just started doing on the YouTube side. Like Margarita sent the clapping seal for 250 jewels. Thank you so much for that. We don't have a way to track that yet within YouTube Studio. So we're doing the supers goal right now, which Jenny just threw down a $2 one of there as well. Thank you so much for that. And we are of 3 of 10 now. 3 of 10. Belly Luna, can you ask if you're the AITA? So if you have a story that you want to send in, you can actually submit it on the Dusty Thunder subreddit or directly at dusty-thunder.com. There are quick links to both of those on my link tree on my profile bio area, which I hope is still there. Karen, yeah, making merch. Jen here, there it is, dropping the $5 super. Thanks so much for that. Says much love to the Thunder fam. You're over there now. You remember. All right, we'll dive into the next story here. Hey there, it's Dusty with yet another story for you. This one is, am I the astronaut for expecting money from my boyfriend's family? Well, when you say it like that, it doesn't sound great. We'll start a poll, like just generally. And just...
Stay up.
That's right. Okay, poll has started. Title again, am I the astronaut for expecting money from my boyfriend's family? You know what I'd like to do whenever I start dating somebody new? I just like to walk in and hand the entire family my Venmo my Venmo users, so they can start, submitting their payments then. Without any context, this sounds real bad. So it sounds real bad. I'm gonna go 2. I'm gonna go 2 on it. I'm sure there's a good reason, but
Did you pay the monthly fee this month?
again, you gotta keep up with your subscription fees. You know what I mean? All those subscriptions. What if they stayed and broke something? Possible. Kayla dropping the super there. Also, Subeka dropping a super here too. Said another super can't resub on TT. Thank you so much, Subeka. And Kayla, your first super on a live stream. Hell yeah. Thanks so much. Like some money for what? Yeah, we don't know. Okay, we got a pretty good split here. We've got AskOn2 actually took it with 33 votes. ESH took it with 20, or ESH is in number 2 spot with 24. So that's interesting. I'm at AskOn2. We'll see, though. We'll see. What was the cackle?
Ellen. She said, I would hope so. I'm a fucking delight.
I am a treat. I am a treat. All right, let's dive in. For context, I, 18 female, have been with my boyfriend, 17 male, for 4 years. At the beginning of our relationship, we would split our time equally between both his house and my house so that we could be with each other's families and get to know them better. Since I have come to know my boyfriend's mom, she has always treated me as other. My grades weren't as good as her son's. That's not good. I don't have as great of a work ethic as him. Terrible influence. My hobbies and lifestyle differed to theirs. How strange. You can probably get the gist here. This sparked a tense environment whenever I came around for dinner, so I stopped seeing her. My boyfriend also noticed this and decided to spend most of his time at my house, as he had gotten into disagreements with her about it. Fast forward a couple of years and the situation is exactly the same. We rarely see my boyfriend's family, and my boyfriend is considered a third child to parents now. The issue is that my boyfriend's family has gradually stopped paying for him. We've taken him on a few holidays over the last couple of years and have gone on many days out, not to mention feeding him most nights too. My mom has always said that my boyfriend is a delight and he is welcome to stay here anytime he likes, but she would appreciate it if his family contributed to the cost of everything that we do for him. We are fairly well-off family, but looking at our finances, my parents have spent approximately £5,500 more on my boyfriend than my boyfriend's family have spent on me.
You keeping a tally?
How exactly is this being tracked? Well, look here. If you look here, you've exceeded the boyfriend budget this month. Most recently, my parents booked a few concerts for me and my boyfriend to attend this year. The combined cost of these concerts for my boyfriend's tickets alone added up to £300. When we brought this up to my boyfriend's family and asked if they would pay for him, they got angry and called us unreasonable. My mom said to them that she doesn't expect repayment right away, just within the next few months. This happened 5 months ago, and then my boyfriend's parents haven't mentioned it since. Fast forward again to last week, we booked our family holiday for the year, Italy. My boyfriend has previously told his family that we were planning on going, and they were nothing but positive. We discussed the dates and flights with them, and it seemed to be going well. However, when my family reached out and informed them of the cost of bringing my boyfriend, they flipped out again. This is an expensive holiday, and my boyfriend's family refuses to pay, let alone the holidays from previous years and the outstanding concert money. We're at a standstill and aren't sure what to do. I think that my boyfriend's parents should be offering my family money each week to cover him. Not much, only around 30 to 40 pounds, but they never have. To make matters more complicated, my boyfriend has a younger sister who his parents spoil all the time. In my opinion, parents should split their costs equally between their children, but that is not the situation here.
What in the Moira Rose is happening in this story?
There's so many wrong things happening. That's the end.
That's all we get.
That's the end of the story. That's all we get. Okay, so there's a lot happening here. I want to try to unpack it just one little peanut at a time. Okay, his mom judging you to the point where you feel so uncomfortable you can't be around her. Yes, that's not good. However, he chose to eat dinner at your house. Like, he chose to go to concerts with you. He chose these things. You guys planned these things and included him. And in most cases, in all but Italy, which is the most recent case here, in all of these cases, you planned something, you included him in it, you did it, and then you asked them for money, which you cannot do. You cannot do an extracurricular and afterward tell somebody that they owe you money for it without discussing it ahead of time, right? That's the kind of thing that you have to get them to agree to ahead of time. Otherwise, it's just a nice thing that you did. And you asking for money for a nice thing that you did afterwards makes it not as nice of a thing. You see where I'm going with this? The Italy thing, you're talking about it ahead of time, right? Here's the problem. You didn't get their input on it. You didn't get their approval on it. You didn't bring the money up in the beginning. You brought it up after hyping this thing up to them and telling them that you were planning on including him, and then talked about the money last. There is, this is more business focused here, but the saying is, if the concern is money, talk about it first. If budget is not a concern, talk about it last. In this case, you've taken the reverse approach, and where it is a concern, have talked about it last, sometimes even after the fact, instead of doing it up front. This is one of those things where you have to eat your frog on it. Them spending more or doting on his sister more, which there may be an age difference that accounts for this too, because then you would need to know what they've spent historically on their son for all of his life, and I'm sure you don't have that accounting handy. Them at least creating the perception that they dote on her more or support her more than they do him. Yeah, that's not good either. But again, like, now you're jumping into somebody else's finances and trying to tell them how to parent, even though you're 18 years old. Your parents starting this whole accounting thing and like tracking things. And then I'm sure that's where the thought got into your head too, about how parents should be splitting their costs 50-50 between kids, and saying that that's how they should do those things too. It's fine that you have those beliefs. You don't get to impose those beliefs on other people. But it sounds like the way that she shit on you, the way that they we'll just go ahead and say dote on the sister and don't support the son at all. But again, he's choosing not to be there. So it's an ESH. It's an ESH. I'm going ESH. Had her drop the 10 and said, OP, you need to pay for all the expenses my mom did for your son. I beg your finest pardon. My late mom always treated us out for food and never once asked to be paid back. Yeah, it's not a nice thing when you ask for money for it afterwards. It's like assuming the sale. And if you don't have any kind of agreement ahead of time about being compensated for the cost that you're incurring, you don't get made whole from that. You don't. It's interesting. ESH is everyone sucks here. But 18, yeah, he should pay for himself. Yeah, I mean, they've been dating for 4 years, so this has been an ongoing thing since they were, 13 and 14, right? And we don't know if he has a job or not. Probably should. I think there's going to be a lot of culture shock for both of them when they get out there. However, I don't think budgeting will be a problem. Budgeting is the one strong suit that they have. They will be well accounted for as they start living an independent life here. Maybe too well accounted for. Daryl, I saw this week that you spent $51 at the gas station and your budget was only $49.
I remember this conversation. My dad had to be put on a system.
Your dad was on a system?
When debit cards came out.
I tell you what, that is a big thing. I think whenever debit cards came out, it made spending money like way too easy. And if you were there for the transition when debit cards became more of like a standard thing, yeah, like you're spending, you had to retrain yourself on spending because it was just too easy to just.
I think it was the receipts, right? There was no online banking.
Yeah.
You had to track it.
You had to track just.
Yes. So
Yeah, having the stack of cash made it easier to understand what you were giving away, right? But if you're just swiping the card, because there was no insert chip or tap to pay at that time, it was the card swiping. It was too easy. It's like poof.
I need the.
Where'd the money go? Where'd the money go?
Also, my parents would have never allowed me to bring a boyfriend at 18.
Oh, overkill whenever ATM cards switched to debit cards? Yeah. I don't know what year that was, but I want to say I was around for it. I want to say that. Oh, Hatter, I missed one of yours. Let me go back and look, unless it just got listed twice. The OP you need to pay for, got that. Yeah, it was the same one. It just listed it twice. I'm not sure why. Thank you again, though. We're at 7 of 10. Holy cow. Oop. I'm clicking the wrong things.
It was in the 1990s, it says.
Also, when tap to pay came in, it was so easy to tap it away before retraining my spending. Yeah, same kind of thing, right? Now tap to pay is a similar kind of thing. It's just, it makes it easier and easier and easier. What's up, Michelle? Caught alive. Heyo. Mac, what did you try? Fell asleep hanging off the bed, reaching for your CPAP. Where did you find him? Just like this. Just like this. Bay Fox. Hey, I'm not calling anybody out. I'm just saying, like, here, they aren't going to have an accounting issue at all because she's already on top of it. I mean, and clearly trained this way by her parents, and her parents might be the real issue here because giving her the understanding that his parents should be paying for this whenever they did this of their own volition. They decided to do all of this. This was not necessity stuff. This was not them, like, taking him in and raising him because they couldn't. This is them trying to be good hosts, but I don't think you get to turn around and then send somebody an invoice for that. At least it's smart. It's smart. Love on an Excel spreadsheet. Yes, overkill. Lord help her when it comes to wedding planning. The expenses will be tracked very, very, very well. Yeah, Emily, exactly. Oh, Alexander, yeah, when you forget your card, it was assigned not to stop at the store. Now you just use your phone to pay. Yeah, one more thing to make it even easier. It's wild.
They found out
it's
if
wild.
It's easier to take our money. We'll willingly give it.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, Ryo, good to see ya. Hey, Cars for Life, what's up? Callie from Casey's. The Viking berry monster one was carbonated. I can't do the carbonated energy drinks for whatever reason.
The burn of the heart.
Yeah, it gives me heartburn, just gives me bubbly guts. So I stick to the non-carbonated tea. So I took a sip and I was like, oh, it's carbonated. But I'm pretty sure either Ava Thunder or Brady Thunder took it. So they said it was good. They said it was really good. Good to see you, by the way. Kaylee? Callie? How do you pronounce it? Which way? Which way? What's up, Grandma Shark? Good to see you. Turner AC, if they break up, is he expected to repay everything? Maybe. Yeah, like it's already messy. It's already messy, and I don't know. It's just messy. Just messy. Let's get some music rocking, and then we'll pivot over to the next one here. I'm going to get some catch-up done on the TikTok side here. Ash Tay, CF Pelletier, author, Grandma Shark, do Amanda League dropping the 211 bolts there. Jelly 5 with the hundo. Kelsa. What's that?
I got some meatloaf.
You dropped your meatloaf on the floor?
No.
Oh, I would do anything for love.
I need a shirt that says I eat meatloaf every day.
Candy Thunder's the only person I know who routinely eats meatloaf with her hands. Kelsa, Jelly5, Nicole Truello, Michelle Ann, Brandy, Ashtay, Erica Manningham, Nick, Henrietta Nilsine, Lucy B, Amanda League dropped the 1,049 bolts. Holy shit balls. Thanks so much for that, Amanda League. Heck yeah. Steph Funky dropping some bolts there too, as well as the Heart Me. Steph is crazy. Sparky. Marupi? What are they? Candy, the meatloaf. Ramon Huerta, Kimmy Ann, Bowwife, Dahlia Santa, Crofts of Paradise, Taylor Devin, the Kirsty, Taylor Devin to get there, Lynn, Deborah. Thank you guys so much. You're awesome.
What is she doing back there? I didn't
Liza, Been listening to Dusty Thunder compilations all day while working. Keep forgetting this one is actually live. It is. It is. I know if you listen to compilations a lot, when you get into a live, is it weird? Is it weird? So one of the restaurants around here locally had meatloaf as a special today. And I was like, that sounds really good. But also, Candy Thunder is a sucker for good meatloaf. She wasn't going to be here for lunch, but I was like, hey, we could still get it for you. And she's like, yep, that's my dinner. Thanks.
I just had to try it.
It's good.
It was very good.
Yeah, it's very good. It's like very, it's not like one of the looser meatloafs that kind of falls apart as soon as you like dig into it. It's pretty dense. It almost has the density of like a pumpkin bread. You know what I mean?
It's a big old piece of meat.
Somebody said taco meatloaf, and I'm
Taco meatloaf?
I am intrigued. Didn't know you could do different types of meatloaf.
It's like a fruit cake made with tacos. Cake the Rogue dropping the $2 super set. I miss getting to send stuff over on TikTok. Thank you for the love. We appreciate it. Foodie J, I have a lot of doppelgangers, actually. I do have a lot. I don't know. Sandy, you try to pause and rewind me because you miss what I say, but you remember it's live. I think you actually can rewind on the YouTube side. Oddly enough. Taco flavor. Interesting. Huh. We may have to explore this. All right, we'll dive into the next story here. Hey there, it's Dusty with another story for you. This one is, am I the astronaut for giving crappy Christmas gifts and ruining my marriage? Again, when you say it like that, it doesn't sound great. Titles are everything here. Poll is starting right now. 1 minute. TikTok side, upper left-hand corner. YouTube side, please vote with a comment. Am I the astronaut for giving crappy Christmas gifts and ruining my marriage? Okay, this one I feel like would be a good ESH, right? Maybe OP just isn't a good gift giver. Maybe it's Johnny Rose, right? Maybe it's just not a forte. Hatter dropped the $5 said, also, I'm so sorry I am late. I was working on making some vegan brownies, trying to eat my sweets and stay healthy. Fingers crossed. Comes out good. I've never had vegan brownies. What do you use?
Instead of eggs?
Well, yeah, we use applesauce and
But we still use eggs.
we still use eggs, though. Yeah. So what do you use instead of eggs?
Oil.
Amanda, yeah, it sounds like they're being accused of it, which makes sense.
I always want to vote, but I can't because I picked the story. So
I can vote.
We'll give too much.
Ask
Yeah, Tony Spark, you can't vote.
I know.
What'd you pick?
I can't say.
I picked ESH.
I know too much.
Interesting. I'm gonna go ask on two.
You going to ask on two?
I don't know anything about
That's
this.
bold.
I don't know
I will
anything
tell
about
Candy
this.
Thunder.
Candy Thunder with the bold ask on
I'm just thinking
two
of the
here.
Christmas purse one.
Okay, here we go. Let's dive in. Title again is, am I the astronaut for giving crappy Christmas gifts and ruining my marriage? Throwaway account for anonymity. I, 31 female, married my soon-to-be ex-husband, male 33, in 2018. My in-laws never liked me and made it clear. Soon-to-be ex insisted that they're just putting up a tough exterior and they'll grow to love me. They show how evil. To show how evil they are, one time I joined them for dinner and brought a cake that I had made because I was always raised to be a gracious guest. When I stepped into the kitchen and offered the cake to his mother as a thank you for inviting me, she took the plate over to the garbage bin, dumped it in, and handed me the plate back.
What the hell? You don't do that to cake.
Imagine doing that, like walking in and handing somebody a cake and they just put it in the trash right in front of you. I'd go Ross, 100%. My cake! My cake! I forget Navy's there. She's probably like, what is happening? What is my daddy doing? Hi, Boogie. Hi, kiddo. She's being very good. When I told my husband what she did, he confronted her, and all of a sudden the crocodile tears started, and she claimed she grabbed the plate but didn't get a good grip. I let go too quickly, and it fell to the floor. So, of course, it had to be thrown away. Ah!
What?
So, okay. Listen, lady. No one throws away cake, and if you're gonna do it, own it. Don't lie about it. I'm just pretending to be mad. I'm not really mad, Amy. I was just acting. Just pretending. I could feel her gaze on me right then, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to have to explain this one. My sister-in-law confirmed that was what happened. Oh boy, cool. So she's right in it. My soon-to-be ex owned his own business, and they called me a gold digger behind his back. Of course, they insisted on a prenup, which I didn't care about because I never thought my marriage would end and it would appease them and may allow them to finally treat me kindly. Nope. His business failed once COVID hit. We went through his savings and my own trying to keep it afloat. I refused to go into debt to keep it going, so we closed it down. In 2022, he was suffering from really bad depression because he lost his business and couldn't find new work. He suggested that we move to his hometown, closer to his family, so he had a larger support network. Against my best judgment, we did. Oh no, you moved closer to these people? We know what's coming, so I'm throwing more red flags. He only wanted to work part-time while he tried to restart his business, so I became the main breadwinner. And as with most wives, I became the person in charge of buying gifts. Stupid old me thought buying them thoughtful, expensive gifts would finally make them see that I wanted to be accepted by them. Gifts to us were a couple's gift, but clearly for my soon-to-be ex only. Totally radical, yes, with the $5 super on the YouTube side. My cake! Exactly. It's not okay. Every holiday was spent with them. Monthly dinners with the whole family. After a year, I realized that if I ever tried to talk or join a conversation, everyone would go quiet. So I just stopped talking when I visited. You can't even speak. In early December, they finalized plans for Christmas. A few days later, my soon-to-be ex said his family decided they didn't want me to join them for Christmas Eve dinner and Christmas lunch because I ruined the family vibe. I replied, fine, we'll do our own thing instead. I replied, fine, we'll do our own thing instead. My soon-to-be ex sheepishly looked away and said he was still going to go.
Rosa.
Look, baby, I know that we're married, and I know that you drained your personal savings trying to save my business as it was going down the drain. But I'm gonna straight up abandon you now because I love my mama more. I'm gonna go ahead and give this. Brozo. I was livid and so disappointed in him. That was the moment I knew my marriage was over. So I returned the presents I had bought for his family. In their place, I got one pair of novelty business socks for father-in-law, a supermarket brand bottle of shampoo for mother-in-law, the nastiest perfume I could find at the dollar store for sister-in-law. Yes. The most expensive gift was a large rawhide bone for brother-in-law and his wife's chihuahua. Too big for it to get its jaw around, rendering it useless. I saved about $600 to put on a deposit for a new apartment. My husband came home from Christmas lunch telling me I humiliated him and embarrassed him in front of his family. I asked him why would he think that I would buy nice gifts for people who clearly don't like me and don't want me around. Served divorce papers last week. Remembered how he was supposed to be a millionaire by now, so we had that prenup. Soon-to-be ex is not eligible for any of my savings. It was required to keep separate accounts or alimony. He doesn't have money for rent and auto insurance. Not my problem anymore. Hey yo, some of my friends and family and on my side and wait, what? Some of my friends and family are on my side and proud that I went out in a blaze of glory. Others are telling me I was being way too petty, which isn't really like me. So, am I the astronaut? Hell no. Oh my God. You know what? The balls of somebody to be like, you're being really petty and that's not really like you. Bish, I'm sorry. If you had lived through what I just lived through, then you would have the right to tell me that. But you haven't. You haven't. You are basing this action on the person you know me to be for all of my years prior. Not for the past 2 years where I have been put through actual cake dumping, family on mute, mother-in-law from hell. You don't get to call me petty. You want to hear petty? Let me tell you about petty. And then tell her all about the mother-in-law. Not just mother-in-law, the whole friggin' family. What is... At the very minimum, they should have treated you with respect like a human freaking being. And Add on to that, the fact that you drained your savings trying to rescue his business as well should have got you some respect from Mama for trying to help her son, if for no other reason, to help her bebe. The person who's helping her bebe. And the fact that this brozo still expected you to get all the gifts for his family to a thing that you were uninvited from and that he was still going to just says everything you need to know about this jabroni. He doesn't deserve you. He never did. So I'm sorry that you wasted all of this time on this piece of shit, but you'll be stronger from this, right? At least that's what they say. I don't, Tater, come on up. Let's talk about this for a second. Any way that this could lead to like a positive strengthening experience for OP? Can she grow from this? Is there any way that this turns around into a good thing?
I think she already turned it into a good thing with her petty revenge. This could have been a petty revenge story. I love the way that I love what she did. I love everything about it. I cannot, the stories don't really make me mad anymore because I think I read so many of them, but this one really makes me mad. Like treating somebody that way, just throwing the cake in the trash, like that was enough for me. I would never have gone back, especially the way that they, like the sister-in-law confirming what mother-in-law was saying when it clearly wasn't true. Like, I didn't have a firm grip. This is like walking into fire every time you walked into this house, and then for them to not speak to you, and then for your husband to not have your back, and then bravo for the shampoo, bravo for the rawhide that no dog can use. Bravo, I love it. I love Oh yeah, the crappy perfume from the dollar store. You know that if she smelled it, that smells in her nose all day. Very good job. I'm impressed.
I might have, they have, you can probably order them on Amazon. I know they have them during 4th of July around here in the fireworks tent. They have those little glass capsules of like fart juice.
Oh no. Yeah.
I would try to find like some industrial sized container for that and then get a bunch of empty, really bougie perfume bottles for like a brand that they would think smells really good, but fill them all with the fart juice. So when they spray it on, it's very surprising.
Yep. I love it. I think that she already like vindicated herself, and I think that she filed for a divorce. The prenup actually worked in her favor because
she's not going to get her money back. That's the hard part.
No, she paid it. She learned a lesson, and she learned a lesson, and it cost her a lot, but she did something at the end she was humiliated for years and did something to preserve her dignity. And I feel like, bravo. If you hadn't done this, I think that you would have looked back and wished that you had done something to stand up for yourself. And now you've done that, and now you're ending this relationship. No. You matched energy, and I mean, barely. Their energy was so much worse, but you can't treat people the way that they did and not expect a human to retaliate. Because at some point, we snap, and at some point we've had enough, and at some point we will stand up for ourselves, and she fucking did it, and I'm so proud of her.
Sergeant Max says she should have got mother-in-law a breast pump, then she could keep feeding her precious son.
Oh man, no.
See, this is why I couldn't vote NTA, because I didn't want to
Not me picturing it.
influence.
I've heard the helium sound. Somebody shared it in the.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's doing it. It's happened since the ban, the 14-hour ban thing. Not sure what it is. What?
You sound even cuter, helium voice. Even cuter. It tastes that jet fuel. It's got real bits of Panther in it, so you know it's good. I'm not gonna lie, Brick. That smells like straight gasoline.
60% of the time.
Tater Thunder, everybody. Once again, 60% of the time, it works every time. Still on Moana 2. Still rocking it. Yeah, Sergeant Mac agreed. That'd be a really good one. Also, whenever you broke the news that you were divorcing her POS son, I would have been like, see, what happened was I didn't have a firm grip, and I dropped him on the floor. So of course he had to be thrown away. Sister-in-law confirms. Confirms. All right, let me reset here. We made an actual determination here on the story, right? Oh yeah, no, it was NTA. It was a firm NTA. Get a little drink going on here. Hockey mom, unknown. That's a TikTok thing. I don't know. Hatter. So instead of eggs, use ground flax seeds and water. Mix it very well. Almost looks like eggs. Interesting. Weird throat noise. Hatter also with a 10 bomb said, OP, you need to pay for all the expenses my mom did for your son. I beg your finest pardon. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I was backing up. And yes, we did hit that goal for the shirt change. I'm going to get that done right now. Time me.
I spent a long time picking out that shirt.
Yeah, and I wore it for a little bit. Rock that. Hey, baby girl. Nope, not done yet.
Are you done?
Are you done? Navy Thunder's like, are you done? I'm like, no, not yet, kiddo. Not yet. She doesn't understand. Hatter, I thought I saw one there, but it like disappeared. Also, Eloisa with the thumbs up for 10 jewels. Thank you so much for that. Oh, no, it did. It just didn't show up top, Hatter. So Hatter with another 10 bomb said, think that sad thing about all this is that the ex-husband tried to date anybody again. They will never be good enough to his family. I'm sorry, but this man needs to cut ties. Yeah, he's not going to be able to have a relationship with anybody ever. And I think that's probably mother-in-law's plan. Nobody's ever going to be good enough. And probably we'll just keep them repelled now, right? So we'll see. We'll see, but I mean, maybe we won't. If he does try to date somebody again, I'm sure we're gonna get another Reddit story about it. Lauren family's good. It's everybody's dropping like flies with the sickness, but we're good. We are good. – 17 seconds. Artemis, thank you. She's a ham. What are you gonna do? All right, here we go. We're going to the next one. Hey there, it's Dusty with another, I don't know what I'm doing. Hey there, it's Dusty with another Reddit story for you. This one is, am I the astronaut because I don't want to be a groomsman? That's it. That's the title. Okay, we'll do a poll for us. And we are 60 votes away from hitting that 3K goal on the TikTok side, y'all. Let me get this poll started. 1 minute poll has begun. Title again, am I the astronaut because I don't want to be a groomsman? Nah. I mean, if you don't want to be, don't be, right?
It's a nice hoodie.
Thanks, bro. You like the hoodie? NTA for me, that whenever somebody invites you or extends an invitation for you to be a part of a bridal party, a wedding party, you don't have to accept. You don't have to. They're going to ask, you could say no. Yeah, Droshko. Agreed. Agreed. Wow, we're catching up on that. Oh, 2971. Cap Girl, Ames, dropping bolts there. Yini Castillo. Skate Ballerina, A-Flower, Stacey Lynn, Kimberly, Heidi made it. Cap Girl again there. Bubsy, Elizabeth, Kai, Thrive with my 5 in I. Nita, Jenny with the ice cream cone. Thrive again there. Rogue, Rage, Thrive, Max. Rogue again. Toby Styles dropping the Dalgona candy. Thank you so much. 89% voted NTA. And we hit a goal. We're going to go ahead and give some thanks for this and get the next one set up before we dive over to the next one here. Can I get a list from somebody else? And this was for a Candy Thunder experience.
I've already done it twice.
Candy Thunder appearance. Well, yeah, but that was to give feedback on stories. You're just going to come up and give your monologue. You have that prepared, right? In particular order here, Bailey Chapman leading the board, Anna Hartman, Nicole Trujillo, Janet Lopez, Jilly55, Charlotte Arnold, Snowman Collector, Hoorn, Cab Girl, Violet Green, Stefunky, Love My Family, Crazy Christy, sorry, Tabby's Clark, Ames, Daisy Desserts, Dahlia Santa, K Crush, Alicia Suver, Hello Kimmy, Erica Hawkins, Mela Oso, Kai, Thrive with my 5NI, Ashtay, Christian Museum Girl, Casey, Letitia, Steph is Crazy, and Tony Spark. Thank you guys so much for the love. I know it's a limp along over there on the TikTok side. I greatly appreciate it. We're gonna get the next one set up, which will unlock Tony Spark and confetti. Tony and confetti.
I have so much to talk about today, too.
You do have a lot to talk about.
Since I'm on Bible. I'm an ordained minister now, actually.
Tony Spark is an ordained minister now.
I've done a lot.
You can officiate weddings and stuff. All right, you ready to come up now? Or you just... Oh, you're just trying to get your phone. I wasn't sure.
Also, our gifts.
You were in the on-deck circle, so I thought you were jumping up now.
Okay.
All right, I'll dive into the story. We'll bring her up afterwards. Bo-ba-da-ba-do. Hi, kiddo. You want to come up and say hi? Okay, Navy Thunder's going to say hi again real quick. Come here. You want to touch the cloud? You can touch the cloud. Here, you can do that afterwards. Touch the big cloud. Big one.
Why didn't I touch the big one?
Yeah, well, because you were up high. All right, tell him hi. Tell him hello again. What are you watching in there? What movie are you watching? Moana 2? What is Moana 2 about? What is Moana 2 about? Don't pull that. Don't pull that. Don't pull that. Is Maui in that? Yeah.
Matufitu?
Matofitu. All right. I gotta read another story. Rawr!
Come here.
Always with the hair. I don't understand. She's like, let me mess that up for you.
Don't like it, brother. Okay, now it's really.
Don't like it, brother. Okay, here we go. We're going to dive into this one. Title again was Am I the Astronaut Because I Don't Want to Be a Groomsman? So it goes like this. My sister is getting married in 5 months. Her fiance doesn't have enough friends to fill out his groom's party. Instead of approaching me directly, he just showed up by my house a couple of times that I wasn't available. My dad told me on accident that the reason is he wants me to be one of his groomsmen. This kind of pissed me off because he could have called me, texted me, something to let me know he was stopping by. I hate when people show up unannounced. I work at night and sleep in the day. Not only that, but they've been dating for like 2 or 3 years and I barely know the guy. He hasn't really done anything to try to build a friendship with me. He sits at home and plays RuneScape all the time. Isn't his groom party supposed to be the man in his life that he can depend on to back him up during his marriage? Is it not a massive red flag that he doesn't have any effing friends and is a total social loser? Why should I have to plug in because he can't get off the computer and go make some? Don't get me wrong, he's done a lot of good for my sister and he's good with things like using tools, but am I wrong in that if he wants me to be one of his groomsmen, that the reason should be because we have a bond, not just because he doesn't have enough friends to fill the spot? Should it not be a big red flag to everyone that this guy doesn't have friends? I'd rather not have more responsibilities during this familial obligation. She already wanted me to take photos. How am I supposed to do that if I'm part of the party? She is my older sister, but her fiance is younger than I am. Maybe I should be the one to initiate some time for us to hang out. But to be honest, I don't care. I'm single, have my own busy life, and I feel like if the guy wants me to be close to him, he needs to man up and reach out to me. Tonight I get a text message. Words are hard. Tonight, I get a text message that says to give him a call when I can. I barely know this guy. I really don't want to do it, but I also want my sister to be happy. My family all know I'm outspoken and opinionated. I'm not a fan, and his approach to asking me is just making it worse. Okay. Well, mini update here. We got to go ahead and dive into the mini. Well, yeah. Go ahead and do it. Let's get some feedback first. What do you think? Sergeant Mac, yeah. If you don't text first, don't show up at my door. That's why those no soliciting signs are so damn good. I think we had one that was like, no soliciting. Seriously, don't make it weird.
The only people that can stop by are immediate family.
Yeah, immediate family. Yeah, absolutely. He tried to do it in person, Lavina. Yeah, but he didn't message ahead of time. This guy works during the day. So just showing up is actually a negative to him. This is heading to ESH land for me. Because, yeah, I mean, he's just wanting to fill a spot. But he's probably also looking at this as an honor. And I think to most people who are part of the bridal party, it's supposed to be it's an honor for them to be a part of it, right? It is something that they look forward to, something that they feel good about being asked to do. You don't want to do it, and that's okay. I think you can politely decline. I don't think you have to dig into his person and be like, it's a red flag that he's asking me because that means he didn't have any friends at all. If he's a gamer especially, he could have a lot of friends that are online that he doesn't physically see. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think you have to attack his person, his character, because he's asking you. That just it's a leap to make all the claims that you've made here, OP, just because he's asking you. And also, like, so what if he doesn't have a lot of friends? I don't know. Does that matter? It's her brother. He should be in the bridal party if he's close with his sister. But he's already taking pictures, so he's already doing that. Now his approach here is very abrasive. He's got an abrasive personality, and we can get that just from the writing, right? And this is who he is as a person, and his family knows this. So, okay, he's gonna say what he says. I don't think he should be attacking his sister's fiance's character because of this. He also sounds like a creature of habit, right? He's probably neurospicy, and this throws him off of routine, and that just makes things worse here too. So there could be a lot of that involved here too. Quality is definitely more important than quantity, especially the older you get, right? Especially. All right, let's dive into the mini update. Okay, am I AITA? Maybe I am the asshole. I'm like, do you drive a Mazda Miata? What's
A Miata.
Spoke to my sister. He doesn't have any friends, and this is her idea. I don't have to take a lot of photos because they have someone doing basic photos included. I'll do it, but I'm not going to invite him out to get a drink or something. Oh, no, I'm going to. I'll do it, but I'm going to invite him out to get a drink or something first so that a bachelor's party isn't the first time hanging out. Okay, so OP is like, fine, I'll do it. We got to at least have a drink first. Okay. He doesn't have any friends, and that's okay. Like, I don't know. But he's got other people in his he's got other groomsmen already, so he didn't have enough people to fill it out. And I get it. That can be, that's probably a stressful, embarrassing thing for him to be like, I got nobody. Like, I got you. So he's filling people in. And he probably doesn't give a shit about having groomsmen either, but I'm sure they want it to balance out the photos and all of that kind of stuff. So good on you for going through with it, OP, and being like, fine. And since you don't have to take as many photos here, that does free you up to do it. The approach of OP's sister's fiance is awkward, right? Like, just showing up, even knowing what he knows about OP, it is awkward. Now you've got somebody who's socially awkward trying to make friends with somebody who's abrasive and neurospicy. So that's going to be a fun scene when they go have a drink. I don't know where this puts me, though. Like, are we at an NTA? Now, the question was, am I the astronaut because I don't want to be a groomsman? Well, that's a feeling, like not wanting to be. It's not like you declined it. The way that fiance approached this wasn't the best way either. So is it an ESH or is it an NTA? I truly don't know. I'm gonna go NTA here because it sounds like it was a misunderstanding. They got through it, and it's a big personality difference. I think the big personality difference here is the largest gap, right? That's the gap that they're trying to build a bridge over right now because you have these severe personality differences. And that drink really is going to be interesting. I wish we had some kind of recap of that. Andromeda Amber, they need a buffer for sure. They do need a buffer. I hope that the drink they go get isn't just the two of them, because it's going to be a lot of aggressive talking in silence. What do you think, Tater? Got nothing. Alan, thanks for hanging out with us. Brenna, Opie sounds like a grumpy old man. Yeah, they are redeeming themselves a little bit. I think it's just the personality.
Navy was sitting on my lap, wanting me to play with stickers
Oh.
for half that story. So.
Navy was going through Taylor Swift stickers. Half and half? Yeah, I feel like a half and half is fair. A Books Coffee Tea, this sounds like the makings of a reluctant partner movie like Rush Hour. You could be onto something. They could become besties because they're so different here. That could happen.
I love those movies.
They could
I
be.
do too.
I love Rush Hour.
They are some of my favorite.
We should watch those.
Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan.
Moondragon. That sounds reasonable that he wants to get to know him before hanging out. If he really has no friends, that could be a red flag depending on why. Some people are just awkward and shy. Well, this is a game or two. I mean, OP did mention that he sits around playing games. So he plays RuneScape all the time. So all the time. It's a personality difference. I think it's okay. But I do agree, Mariah. Yeah. Want to know why he felt like he could rip into the dude's character like that just because he did something that inconvenienced him or that he didn't appreciate, right? Like that is a gut reaction, first response. Character attacking does not sound healthy. But still going NTA because it all got resolved here. It got resolved. Playing some music to get some. Am I understanding? Are you understanding the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Man, don't nobody understand what's going on. I just watched Rush Hour 3 the other day when he takes that wig off and he's like, oh Lord, all this stuff like a damn prince.
You know, it snorts. Yeah, they should go to one of those bars to do trivia. That way they have a distraction if it's just the two of them. Agreed. Having, which is like a pseudo buffer, right? That would work. Liza, yeah, as a gamer, I totally get not seeming like you have friends. I had to move where my online friends live to have in-person friends. I see that as the scene for a fiance here. Like it's, yeah, it doesn't have friends that he can invite to be in his wedding. Probably still has friends, right? All right, Tater, they unlocked you. We got to make good on this. Come on up and deliver your monologue here.
My SNL monologue. La. Just kidding. I do have a Navy story, so I'll tell you that very quickly. Yesterday, Tuesdays are my day off, and I stay home with Navy on Tuesday. And we were trying to go, and I call her my little molasses drip because I'm slow. She's molasses. So I was trying to get her out the door, and she's talking back to me, and I'm like, and she says, and I was like, Navy, hey, like focus. We got to put on our shoes. And she's like, I'm sorry. And I'm like, well, why? And I tried to get her to say why she's sorry so that she understands like why she's apologizing and not just apologizing to move forward. So I asked her why she was sorry, and she said, because I cheated on you. And I said, what? How did you cheat on me? And she said, with my mouth. The words that came out of my mouth. And I was like, what? And she said, the words were mean and I'm sorry. And I'm like, okay, that makes total sense.
I cheated on you? How? With my mouth?
And I was like, what? But there was a storyline and like a Spidey one or something that was talking about cheating to get your way. And I think that's what she was trying to reference. But yeah, she told me that she cheated on me.
Okay, now that you're holding it, we got to do it. Ready?
No.
Minions! Tonight, we're going to steal.
Okay.
First time she has ever reacted negatively to this. Is the moon your
my
comfort
gosh.
object right now? It's like it's a
thank
hard
you, Artemis.
moon.
That's so nice. Thank
it's a
you.
hard moon.
The moon. I got some new mascara. Thank you.
All right, I'm gonna put it back up here. I'm putting
All
the
right.
moon back.
Tell him bye.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry I upset you.
I just
Say,
I just discovered the comment section.
okay.
The comment section on that last story? Or on the one we're getting ready to read?
Daddy, are you done?
Alaska.
The last guy? Do you want to paste a few in before we move on?
Daddy, are you sure?
Is he a brozo?
Not done yet, honey.
There's like backstory context.
Okay.
He doesn't like this guy.
Okay. So there's some backstory context
I'm just gonna paste these.
about why he doesn't like this guy. So we're gonna back up a little bit, and Tony Sparks is gonna give us some context here with comments. I'll hang out right at the end of story 4 and wait for that for just a second.
I'm gonna put it at the very bottom of the docs.
Oh, okay. I'll look for it whenever it's ready there. Magic drop. The Tracks a Child acts one way a million times, then when somebody's watching, totally opposite. Yes, also, Navy has the sickness. She's okay. She's not. She hasn't been sicky.
You can start reading.
Okay.
The first one's not all.
Is it? It's underneath Cake Story?
Yeah, it's the very last.
So is it, where does it say, where it says comment 1?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, hold on. Okay, yes. Sorry. All right, now we got into it. Here's comment 1 backstory about why OP didn't care for fiance. He said a couple snappy things to my father and I where he had an attitude or acted like we weren't anyone. He moved into my sister's place, which she owns. When my dad visited for Thanksgiving, he said something to my dad that made him feel like he was giving my dad permission to stay the night. Again, dude is younger than I am. My dad told him off and stayed at my house and doesn't stay over there anymore. This is just one thing. We've been really kind to the guy. My dad and I both like him, but there seems to be stuff like this every time we interact. I asked to borrow a tool to work on my car, and he asked me to schedule a time to let him diagnose it. Although I know what I needed, I just didn't have the tool. It was annoying. There's been little things. Gonna repeat, I don't hate the guy. He's the best guy my sister has chosen so far. So far is funny. Everyone's mad because I call it like I see it, but I'm not going to sugarcoat certain character defects, like being antisocial, LOL. There's a remedy. I think that a lot of readers were insulted because they're still figuring that one out. Yeah, abrasive personality.
Okay. All of his comments are very aggressive and abrasive.
He's a very abrasive, aggressive person. Also has the same knee-jerk reaction to character attack, right? But dad does too. So if he moved in with sister, they're sharing the cost of living, and he lives there too. She may own the place, but if they're living there together and sharing expenses, it's his place too. But boy, dad couldn't handle that. So dad is part of the issue here too. Comment 2. Maybe I should put this out there since you're the most reasonable response I've gotten. I grew up playing RuneScape. I still love gaming. Although I gave it up for like a decade so I could get my adult life together. Probably one of the dumbest decisions I've ever made. I'm also good with my hands. I love repairing things and building things. So does he. I'm a jack of all trades, and so is he. He likes anime. So do I. I'm an extroverted introvert. I'm only extroverted because I have to be to live my life. I'm only extroverted because I'm a man, and introverted men have no resources, aka bad providers, fathers, husbands. Yeah, that is an interesting take. I don't agree. It is not that he is missing traits of what I deem acceptable or cool. It's that I'm being asked to step in as though we are great friends when he hasn't put any effort in to know me. When I have put an effort in, it's been greeted with him being weird or acting like a jerk. He likes to act like he's that MFer to both my dad and myself. We are them MFers. I guess I'm missing elaboration on how he has been rude, but it's been enough that I'm not kissing any feet. My gripe is that now they want me to be in the wedding, but I don't know this guy, and he hasn't tried to get to know me. It's not that I don't like him or that I don't approve of the wedding. It literally comes down to that simple fact. I would be there in the audience congratulating them like everybody else if I just had a simple invitation. Don't know why they had to make it complicated. Opie, I think you might be making it way more complicated than it actually is, and now we know that because sister was just trying to fill in because he doesn't have any physical friends here to be able to do that. Also, somebody asking you to be a part of their wedding can either be a really big honor and be really sentimental, or it can just be a chore. It can just be like, it's not that deep. It's just like fill the spot, look good in the suit. Just that. It's not, in this case, it's not that deep. It's not that deep, right? But as he is a person, still with the character attacking, and then to be able to say he acts like he's that MFer. My dad and I are them MFers. I'm like, okay. Sound like a real douchebag, OP. And gives zero about how it affects other people. So have fun with that. Good luck. We'll move on from it. Yeah, it's not. I mean, I left him at NTA because he ended up being like, okay, fine, I'll do it. And I think he's got some quirks. He's got some personality quirks as well that he doesn't view as quirks. He views as strengths. And that's fine. That's fine. You do you. But personality-wise, super abrasive, super aggressive. It doesn't sound like a very good person. I don't know. Like, good luck, dude. Good luck. Definitely him, Opie, opening his mouth every time he says something new. It doesn't get better. It doesn't. It definitely gets worse. Definitely gets worse. Also, I want to know what kind of stuff the fiance said to make OP feel like fiance was acting like that MFer. When everything that OP says is him trying to be that MFer. Magic drop, it sounds like it. It sounds like he's, as a person, probably an ASCOM 1 tape boy. All right, we'll dive into the next one here. We're at 195 of 1500 on the W coin goal right now. Let me set a new, actually, I didn't even fill you in on what we're doing next on the YouTube side. We're not doing a super chat goal, not with numbers of super chats like we did previously, like the one that you hit here with the 10 out of 10. We are now going for different amounts. So we have a $30 goal, which will unlock a cake story. That is the plan now. We'll just have to try to keep track of what we're seeing there. In the meantime, I'll dive into the next story here. Reese's, there is a TikTok glitch that is forcing the voice speed up thing. We don't know why that is, and we can't do anything to fix it. It doesn't happen for everybody at the same time. It's an app glitch, but since they can't push updates or anything right now, we're just kind of stuck. A lot of people, if you bounce out of the app and then jump back in, it fixes it, but not for everybody. So, or you can watch on YouTube, which doesn't have that going on. Chosen from Smosh. I've seen Smosh. I don't know who Chosen is, though. OP's a real crunchy taco. 309.
That's amazing. You damn crunchy taco.
I'm going to start using that.
That's cute. Crunchy.
Tren, you like Helium Dusty? I don't know about all that. All right, here's our next story. Hey there, it's Dusty once again with another story for you. This is, am I the astronaut for postponing my mother-son trip to support my wife? We'll do a poll for this. I mean, this is what I feel like titles should be. It's like, am I the astronaut for doing this because of this? Most of the time we just see, am I the astronaut for doing this? We're like, well, but in this case, am I the astronaut for postponing my mother-son trip to support my wife? No. Although it depends on what we mean by support. Like if you were helping her commit a crime, yeah, probably not a good thing. Support can mean a lot of different things. Probably NTA. 10 seconds left. NTA's running hard here. But we'll see. Hey, Hal. Howdy from the Texas coast. Hal Hondo Leatherworks. Heck yeah. Hey, Golden Owl. I saw you in there a minute ago as well. Good to see you both. A couple leather guys. Is mom sick? Why do this now, Alexandria? we'll find out. NTA took the cake with 89% of the vote, which means that we're probably wrong. Let's dive in and find out. I promised my mother, 64 female, that I, 29 male, would go with her to Tanzania. She's always wanted to go and talked about it for years, but since she divorced my dad over a decade ago, hasn't had anyone to go with. My wife, 27 female, pointed out that once we have children, the chances of my going on a 3-week vacation alone will be pretty low, and by the time our children grow up, my mother might be too old to travel long distances. So I told my mom I wanted to go with her. She cried, she was so happy. The trip was booked for March. My wife has been nothing but supportive. Unfortunately, my wife and I have struggled to conceive. We have been trying for 2 years and moved to a different country recently away from my mother. I assured my mother the trip was still going ahead. My wife and I recently had our first round of IVF and it failed. Damn. The doctors had been confident because my wife is still young, but it didn't. My wife and I took this news hard, especially my wife. I won't go into the details, but despite only being 27, my wife has some significant fertility issues. We found out that we're probably never going to have a child, even with IVF. My wife's mental health, even after the IVF failure, declined, and what made matters worse is the day we found out it failed, I had to go on a 2-week business trip. My wife was left on her own in a new foreign country with no family or friends, starting a new job, grappling with this awful news on her own. That is awful. Awful. My wife lost weight and is now under supervision by a psychiatrist and psychologist and medicated daily. When I came home, I saw my wife was skeletally thin and struggling to get out of bed every day. Leaving her on her own is not an option for the foreseeable. I called my mother and explained the situation. I told her I wanted to delay our trip by 10 weeks so that my wife could finish her treatment and come with us. It was a win-win. My mother gets her trip, I'm still a good son, but most importantly, I don't abandon my wife. Of course, I offered to pay for all additional costs, including new flights, so my mother wasn't out of pocket. My mother was initially supportive. She said she understood and thought the compromise was sensible. She even offered to come see us in our new country in March to give us support. A week later, my mother called me and said she's disappointed about the trip being postponed and that we had let her down. She said with my wife coming that the trip would be different than what she expected. She said she can't handle the thought of it potentially being postponed again, we never said it would be, and no longer wanted to go on the trip at all. She said she never wanted to speak about the trip either. She canceled the flights and asked my wife and I to refund her for everything, which we did. Once we paid her back, she stopped answering my texts. She hasn't once reached out to my wife, who she's known for 10 plus years and knew how much our children mean to her, about the IVF, the trip, nothing. Or me. Am I the astronaut?
Who did the mom talk to?
Go ahead and read that.
Important comment by OP. The order of events was that I suggested the 10-week delay with daughter-in-law. Mother-in-law?
No, including daughter-in-law to go with them.
Oh. The order of the events was I suggested the 10-week delay, and including my wife, Mom agreed. We had a call a few days later. Mom said, let's push it for 1 year without daughter-in-law. I agreed. 1 week passes. Mom says she would rather just cancel the trip and shut down. Sorry, drafting this within the character count was a challenge. Okay, yeah, she talked to somebody. She found somebody else to go with. OP? That's where I'm at. She found somebody else to go with.
She's not answering because she's on a trip.
She's not answering. She's just ghosting you now. And yes, she might actually be butthurt by this, which says a ton about her character here. She does not care about you or your wife. That's what you can get from this. Your wife taking this hard and going through this, you are right there with her. And the fact that as soon as you got this news, you were gone for 2 weeks and she was left on her own, completely isolated, and your mom doesn't address that at all. She's just like, oh, I guess it makes sense to wait a little bit. And then comes back and reneges on that. Like, no, okay. Mama's only worried about mama here. And I think she found somebody else to go with. That's why she wanted to cancel it. Because she wasn't going with you anymore. She was going with somebody else. Or maybe solo. I don't know. But I think she found somebody else to go with. Jamie-san dropping the $10 bomb on the YouTube side. Thank you so much for the love. Your first super on a live stream. Heck yeah. NTA for OP and his wife. Ask on one for mother-in-law. I mean, we don't know for sure what she's doing, but her reaction here was not okay. Grid of Cobra, I was about to say there weren't any astronauts here, just an unfortunate situation. And then the mom opened her dang mouth. Okay, Mama, there are a couple of signals here that make it just shady AF. One is the change of tone, right? She was understanding about it and then all of a sudden wasn't. Two is her lack of empathy for anything involving your wife's situation and your situation here with the failed IVF and hearing the news that you'll never be able to have kids. Like, that's a huge life and world changing thing to find out. And she is only worried about her trip. Accepted the compromise, but there's no compromise. What a decent human being would have done right then would have been like, okay, like, the trip isn't a thing. Like, let's just focus up on you. I'll be there tomorrow. Like, we're going to get you guys back to healthy status. That's what she would have done if she gave any shits. Instead, she acted completely self-centered and then just ended up ghosting you. Yeah, she's going on the trip. Either she found one of her bridge gals to go with her, or yeah, she's taking Cabana Boy or something. I don't know, but she's going without you. Or is she trying to oust the wife because no grandkids? Maybe the whole no grandkid thing just made her so sour that she's just done. But cutting off her own child, cutting off contact with her own child there too, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. So the question was, am I the astronaut for postponing my mother-son trip to support my wife? No, of course not. You are not the astronaut for that. If we knew what was really going on with your mom, we could probably assign her an ASCON rating here. I think at minimum, she's at 2. She definitely should not have done what she did. It's very, very likely that it's a 1. We would just need a little bit more information to confirm that. She's up to something for sure, Megs. She's up to something. Crap! Alexandra, I feel like I need to write my story in. So much of these are reminding me of my parents today. Blah. Send it in. Send it in. Hey, Risa says, hey, my barista is on the road to recovery. Doctors are baffled. Thank you for the good vibes, thoughts, and prayers.
Oh, that's awesome.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Elena, mom wanted to be first because she was second when she was married. Yeah.
Someone other than your son.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of sus going on in there. A lot of sus. She's up to something, we just don't know what. We don't know. I'm gonna get some music going on there as we break into the next story here. Reminder, we're at 211 of 1500 on the W coins. I know nobody can recharge coins, so there's that. What's up, Smoothie Poo? Good to see you, brother. Hi, kiddo. What you got? What are you wanting? The bear? Here, let me put this back up. How about the astronaut? There we go. There we go. It's just like she gets a bunch of cool stuff to choose from up there. Okay, I am on 6, I believe. Is that right, Tony?
Go ahead and do the next one.
Okay. Got it. Got it. All right, we're going to dive into our next one, and it is a Best of Redditor update story, y'all. Buckle up. Get your popcorn ready.
What'd you find?
Let's dive in.
Very cool.
Hey there, it's Dusty Thunder with another story for you. This one is a Best of Redditor update, and you know what that means. Settle in. You might want to save the story for when you're on the pooper. We'll edit that part out.
It's not that.
Candy Thunder's like, no, it's accurate. Title of this one, am I the astronaut for grounding my daughter and canceling her senior trip after I found out she was cheating on her boyfriend? Oh my. Starting a poll for this one. So at least we have I did this because, which I appreciate, but what? Am I the astronaut for grounding my daughter and canceling her senior trip after I found out that she was cheating on her boyfriend? What would you say, Tater? Canceled the senior trip and grounded her because she found out that she was cheating on her boyfriend.
My initial thought is that it's too far because this is a high school.
It's relationship meddling.
I would meddle, but I would try to teach her the why it's wrong. Not take
Meddle in a constructive way instead of
I wouldn't take the trip.
instead of a just straight up punish, ruined your life kind of way.
The senior trip is a rite of passage. I wouldn't take it.
Okay. It is much.
For cheating, but
I said I initially, whenever I read this, I'm like, I don't feel like meddling in teen relationships is something that we as parents should do. It's hard not to, because they have all these big feelings from them, and you have to discuss them, right? And you want to help kind of be a lighthouse and help teach them to navigate through these things. But
until it starts affecting their mental health.
yeah, right. Until it starts affecting their mental health.
Mineral health. Your magnesium looks low. I'm gonna.
Until it starts affecting their magnesium levels. That's right. Yes. Yeah. Are you plugged up? Need some magnesium?
Little dandelion.
NTA took the cake on this one. Sorry, words are hard. Words are hard. Yeah, I don't know. It's this. That's a sticky one. I think there would definitely be a long conversation. I don't know that I'd be like actively punishing them for doing something stupid in a relationship.
I would just talk to them about it.
All right, let's dive in. Oh yeah, the poll, by the way, was a little more spread out, but NTA did win. NTA, ESH, and then it goes through the ASCONs pretty equally. I have two daughters, Lizzie, 17 female, and Mackenzie, 14 female. Their dad and I divorced a few years ago after I discovered he was having an affair. Yeah, starting to make sense now. I have the kids most of the time, and their dad has them every weekend and during the summers. Lizzie has been dating Jacob, 18 male, for over a year now. Jacob is constantly at our house. He's a sweet, good young man, and I believe he'll be valedictorian of their class. However, a few weeks ago, I overheard Lizzie on the phone with a guy clearly flirting. At first, I thought it was Jacob, but then I heard her say Brandon. I realized she was talking about someone else. I realized she was talking to someone else. Then a week later, she mentioned to me that she was heading out to hang with a friend. And when I looked out the window, I saw her getting into a car and greet a guy with a kiss. It was not Jacob. Even after that, Jacob continued to come over, hanging out with Lizzie. He and Lizzie still acted like a couple, holding hands, laughing, and spending time together, just like they always had. I felt disgusted knowing my daughter was being a two-timer. After Jacob left that day, I confronted my daughter. I asked her point blank, "Are you cheating on your boyfriend with another guy?" She said it was none of my business and that her personal life was hers only. I told her she was wrong and that I raised her better than to treat people like this. She told me she was bored with Jacob and that Brandon was more her type now. I told her that if she wasn't happy, she should just break up with Jacob. She said she didn't know if she wanted to be with Brandon or if she was just having fun flirting and teasing. I told her cheating was unacceptable and wrong, and as a consequence, I grounded her. I also told her she wasn't allowed to go on her senior trip with her friends. She obviously did not take that too well and has been at her dad's place for the last couple of days. My ex-husband called me saying that I was being unreasonable by not letting her go on the trip and that she and Jacob were just a high school thing. He then told me that I needed to put my bitterness aside and stop punishing his daughter. I told him I was teaching our daughter right from wrong and that actions have consequences. Let's go ahead and dive into some relevant comments here. Relevant comment 1. Is your daughter aware of the reason for the divorce? OP, yes. 2. I'd recommend explaining that since cheating broke the family, you won't, under any circumstance, tolerate her cheating on her boyfriend and emphasize the strain it puts on your relationship with her. Explain the pain that you felt after finding out about the ex-husband's affair and how her boyfriend deserves none of that just because she feels bored. You could also say that she's entitled to her own decisions, but her cheating severely disappoints and hurts you. Of course, you know your feelings better, but I tried to give you a rough framework for letting her know the actual weight of her actions, heartbreak for boyfriend, and a major problem in her relationship with her mother. Make her think about whether the momentary excitement is really worth the cost. This should work better than punishment, at least in the long run. 3, her wording was interesting. I almost feel like she asked her dad why he cheated on her mom, and that was his response. My nephew did something similar after his parents divorced, and it was like he opened his mouth and his father fell out. 4, she will probably learn to be better at cheating. What you're doing is not wrong, but I don't think it will work. 5, I'm probably older than you. Here's where I'm at. Cheating is a selfish, thoughtless thing to do to someone you ostensibly care about. However, dating is a personal journey, and your daughter is in high school. I think discussion about her bad behavior is fine. Maybe asking her how she'd feel if Jacob was seeing some other girl on the side. Perhaps even thinking about telling Jacob the truth next time he comes by. However, her bad behavior with a boy is not something to be grounded over. You're taking out your hurt and anger at your ex on her. That's not fair or good parenting. She's too old for that BS. If she was texting and driving, you would take her car keys because of safety. Staying out past curfew gets a phone taken. Being a bad girlfriend isn't a safety issue. And if you failed as a parent and she doesn't get it that cheating is bad, grounding her isn't going to teach her a lesson except that you overreact and have anger management issues. Teens do stupid, selfish things. It's part of being hormonal and a young adult. Most will grow up and grow out of such behaviors, and 5 or 10 years down the line, she might be very well ashamed of it. 6, NTA. Your post sounds like Lizzie's a daddy's girl, and he's been greenlighting her behavior. OP's response to that one: he's definitely the fun parent. Dad gives them money and takes them on trips while I do the actual parenting. My youngest needed a physical exam for soccer tryouts, and he couldn't even be bothered to do that. 7, maybe it's time for Dad to take Lizzie most of the time, and you enjoy her presence during the weekend and summers. I'd hate for her to influence the youngest to behave in such unscrupulous ways. Good job, or good luck, OP. You're a great mom. Maybe even consider telling Jacob or his parent about Lizzie's actions. When I got cheated on, I wish someone had told me sooner. There is an update before we get into that. Thoughts so far?
Yeah, but
Don't help Jacob. That's not your role.
she's referencing her own cheating. You can't give advice when you've been cheated on.
Right.
Giving advice based on how you felt in that situation.
Well, okay. No one can hear you. Come on up.
I was talking.
No. Come on.
It's okay, seriously.
Okay. And Navy Thunder's being a little high maintenance right now. So we don't get Candy Thunder up here. However, the sentiment was you can't give advice whenever you're pulling from your personal experience here in this instance. Like you can't pull from your own cheating to give advice here, unless she's just reflecting on the way that, like, the pain it can cause, the hurt it can cause. But again, you've got teenagers dating. That is there's teenagers dating, and then there's married people getting cheated on. 2 very different things. And yes, mom obviously has strong feelings about that, which led her to respond the way that she did. Having the conversation was good. I'm glad you had the conversation. She had the conversation with her and said that, hey, this is not okay. You should just break up with him. It's not an okay thing to do. I think all you can do is coach them through that, though. Like, was punishing her, canceling her senior trip, and grounding her, was that the right thing to do? I do not feel like it was. See, I don't feel like telling Jacob is the right thing to do either. I don't feel like meddling and intervening as an adult in a relationship with kids involved is right. I think you've got to stay out of it. Maybe have a removed friend talk to her so it's not an emotional reaction. Yeah, like, you got to understand, Mom, that your opinion here is tainted, and she knows that. She's not going to take anything you say seriously now. It's going to have to come from somebody else. How old is the other guy? Is he a teen? Unknown. Just another guy. And yeah, I like
18.
the other kid's 18.
Oh, the other kid.
The other kid.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, I assume he's around the same age, but
She touched him.
somebody, there was a comment in her, or somebody said she's just going to get sneakier at cheating, and I think that's probably the case. She's just going to get sneakier. All you're training her to do is to act differently around you, which means she's going to get sneakier. There's a difference between guiding and grounding. I don't think grounding is going to help here. We do say pain creates change, though, and it does. But there has to be some context. It has to be constructive, right? There has to be some kind of path lit here. And right now, like she knows what she's doing is wrong and just doesn't care. And what a cowardly way to approach life. Unfortunately, there's nothing you can do other than try to eliminate that fact, Mama, and be like, that's a cowardly way to live life. And here's where you're headed. This is the kind of stuff that you, if you continue down this path, will get yourself into. And it's a pretty shitty situation to be in. I don't think grounding her or taking things away lends you more credibility. I think it does the opposite. Yeah, Rez. Yeah, daughter's not going to come to mom in the future when shit happens. All right, we'll dive into the update. Let's dive in. 6 days later, I received a lot of good advice from my original post and wanted to provide an update. My daughter has been at her dad's house since my last post. I called her saying I'm reconsidering canceling her senior trip, but she needs to tell me what's going on with this new guy, Brandon. She reiterated that it's not serious and she's just having fun. I told her she needs to decide which guy she actually wants to be with. She said she doesn't want Brandon, but he's fun, and Jacob can be too serious and controlling. She likes how chill Brandon is. She kept saying she doesn't understand why I care so much, that I'm supposed to be on her side, and that I'm acting like Jacob is my child and not her. I told her that wasn't the issue. The issue is that cheating is wrong and she's hurting Jacob, who she claims to love. She says she's not hurting him because he doesn't know about Brandon. I told her she's going to have to tell him, and only then will she be allowed to go on her senior trip. She said that she couldn't do that. She still wants Jacob, but he could be annoying sometimes, and she needs a change of pace. I told her it was wrong to use both of these guys. I asked her if Brandon goes to the same school, and she said no, that he isn't in school at all. I tried pressing her on how old Brandon is, but she wouldn't give me a clear answer. She just kept saying, not that much older, but not in school. After the call, I contacted my ex-husband to express our concerns about this new guy and how secretive our daughter is being about him. He told me I need to stop being a helicopter parent and let our daughter make her own mistakes and decisions about her love lives. Plural. I told him we don't know anything about this Brandon guy and how he cannot be concerned about him. He said he trusts our daughter and that she is nearly an adult and that I'm just being controlling and projecting my issues onto her. I told him with how little we know about this Brandon and her not willing to at least break up with Jacob, there's no way she's going on the senior trip. My ex-husband got upset, saying that I cannot make these decisions on my own and that she is his daughter too. He then told me he'll be paying for the full senior trip and that I need to back off if I want our daughter to ever come back home. Well, they're definitely on opposite sides of this issue. Relevant comments. 1, I think your mistake is how you're speaking to your daughter about this in terms of how it's bad for Jacob. That's why she thinks you're acting like Jacob is your child and you're not on her side. Well, yeah, because mom's relating to Jacob in this scenario. You need to explain to her how your concern is about what this behavior is doing to her and your concerns about how she is going to get hurt when this blows up in her face. 2, she's also hurting herself. Doing the wrong thing becomes easier the more you do it. You corrupt yourself. 3, your daughter learned from your ex that cheating is not a big deal, and many people commenting on your post seem to think it's not your responsibility to teach your daughter right from wrong. I don't know if canceling the senior trip is the right move, but I do know that your daughter doesn't deserve to have a partner if this is how she treats them. 4, let her live with the father. Let her live with her father. Let him deal with her sneaking around with an unknown man and the consequences that can happen from it. There's the end of it. There's the end. So I would say in my position as a parent, if our daughter was doing this, I'd be like, okay, well, you're going to at least have to give me details on this new guy, because if you're going to live here, I need to know if you're out there running around with some 30-year-old dude, right? It's like in Schitt's Creek, whenever Alexis and Ted break up and her rebound guy is Artie. Artie, yeah.
He's like in his 50s.
Yeah, he's in his 60s. Yeah. I would want to know. I would want to know because I'm concerned for her safety. Like Ed, I would want to know at least, I would want to have some kind of reassurance that she's at least being smart and not just being completely careless. But I don't think it's my position as a parent to be like, you need to break up with this person. I don't think I can meddle there. I don't think it's right for me to do, but that's me, right? That's me. Quinn, too much is happening. Mom needs therapy. Dad's an ASCOM 1. Daughter's being a teenager, but also needs therapy probably. And Brandon needs to be looked further into. Yeah, agreed. All of that. All of that. Everybody needs therapy.
That sums it up.
Therapy. That's the one word. That's the one word sum up here. Therapy. Where's my therapy button? I don't have that as a rating for the scale, but that's pretty much it. Therapy. Oh, Lady Artemis says, and I bet Dad met the new guy. Possibly. What's up, real broad? Teens. Yeah, I mean, she's gonna... Gosh, if Mom is investing herself this much in her daughter's love life, worse if she's vicariously living through it and, like, putting herself in Jacob's shoes. That's the hard part. She's relating to Jacob and feeling his pain right now, or his impending pain that he doesn't even know about yet, which is wrong, yes, but like, there's teaching and then there's controlling. And those are two very different things. Like you can be a coach, but you can't intervene unless it's a matter of like safety, right? I don't know. You do have to let your kids fail on their own. That's the only way that they're going to learn. Paige, new guy's probably Dad's friend. This whole story is yucky. Here's where I'm going. Everybody sucks. Everybody sucks. Everybody sucks here. It's an ESH. Everybody sucks here for something on a varying level, but this is a fustercluck. And everybody needs therapy, individually and probably as a family as well. Good luck with that. Eek. 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 Eek.
So it's an ENT.
Everybody needs therapy. Yeah, it's an ENT. ENT is fair. That's fair. That is fair. And that brings us to the end of our program for today, ladies and gentlemen. We're past the 5 o'clock hour here. We are going to do a VIP, I think. Is she up for it? She says yes. We'll have probably a very abbreviated VIP today, but we will do our best to get that knocked out. So
we're dropping like flies.
Yeah, we are. Everybody's dropping like flies. We need about 10 to 15 minutes to get that set up, but we are going to do an abbreviated VIP live so we can at least get some wheel spins in and have a little bit of fun and do some little chitty chat with you, right? Chitty chat. Okay, which means that we need to get flipped over to that side here quickly. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with us today. Always a great time. I know we're still trying to get to a point of stability on the TikTok side, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Until then, we will survive. Oh, now do you want to come tell everybody bye? Come on, kiddo. Are you getting sick?
No, she's either getting sick or she's tired.
No.
She's not feeling herself.
No, you're not getting sick, are you? Look, camera right there. Say bye, everybody.
Bye.
Say bye, everybody. Yep, that's you. The monitor screen she looks at, but you gotta look that way so the camera can see your face. Here, does it work better if I move you over here? Is that better?
Yeah.
Now you can see yourself there instead of having to look the complete opposite direction. You blow kisses? There you go. There you go. To the moon. She's like, the moon's right over there, right behind us. Right behind us. Okay, we'll see you shortly in VIP, guys. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. Oh, Navy hugs are the best. Navy hugs are the best. All right, we'll see you in VIP or see you next time. Thank you guys so much. Margarita, thanks for the floating heart. Appreciate that. Tell everybody bye.
Bye.
You gotta look at the camera and say bye.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, when did you get so heavy, by the way? How are you getting so big and so heavy all the time? You want the